Hey guys, we are back this week with chapter 172 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, Nasiens versus Rothes. We start off this chapter with someone saying, "Yes, I'm brushing my teeth, okay?" The panels go on and we see that it's a bit more like a child talking to their parent on the phone. Of course I'm in the final. There was this one guy who shrugged off my magic. Yeah, right? Wouldn't you think? Of course I could totally take the guy. I just got a little timid is all. This turns out to be Gawain talking. Sorry, but you just laugh at Gawain. She's just talking into a shell like she's in SpongeBob. So apparently she's using this magic shell to talk to someone on the other phone. It's her Gramps, you know, that weird, creepy doll thing. The grandpa just says, "You'll do fine. I know you can do it." "Okay, Gramps, can I get my usual hug?" And oh my gosh, this is just so adorable. Like, Gawain was my least favorite of the four knights, but now that we see this side of her, I'm sorry, but this is just cute. But her hugs over the shell phone are interrupted with the crowds going wild, and Gawain is wondering, what the heck was that? She goes over and hears the announcer. The winner of match 3, box A, is Diodora. Gawain says, "Isn't that the match she was?" And she is shocked to see Anne passed out and Percival carrying her around with his magic, continuously trying to heal her. He explains that she was hurt and in the most awful way. She needs rest and just hurries off, rushing past Gawain, leaving her with him. That's right, this asshole. He says, "The natural result of a weak daring to tackle the strong. I see no reason to be that emotional about it." Yeah, I know that's not how he talks like, but he's a douche and I'm saying it like this. Gawain scolds him. "You think I'm gonna ignore that? Did I say anything hurtful at all?" Rothes leaves, but let's be honest, he is lucky that she didn't just hulk out and start beating the ever-loving crap out of him. Diodora is furious. He slams his hand against the wall, with Turret being a little curious, saying, "What's the matter?" He yells at him, "Why did you have a Purgatory beast attack her? Do you think I wanted that? Better have a good excuse, Turret. What would my dad say if he found out about such a cowardly move?" Turret explains, "It was for the sake of your father." Turret tries calming him down, saying that you seek to win this no matter the cost. "Didn't you say so, Lord Diodora?" "Yeah, I know, but still, that was going too far." Turret is angry, saying, "Good for nothing, boy," which shocks Diodora, and he starts quoting 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸. "If you face an enemy, you must snap off their fangs and crush their soul." That is what Lord 𝐼𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸 taught us all. Rothes will be up next. He has it in the bag, so all Diodora can do is rest. Meanwhile, match 4 in block A, Nasiens versus Rothes. The battle begins. Rothes charges first, saying, "Let's wrap this up real quick. I'm gonna go check up on Lord Diodora." Nasiens draws his weapons and begins to block Rothes' own sword. He scolds Rothes, saying, "I saw you and your partner conversing during the last match. You did something, didn't you?" The two continue their fight, with Rothes saying, "And you got any proof?" That replies the most damning proof of all. "I don't know how, but I know for sure that you two interfered with that battle." "That's right, Nasiens. Avenge and what if I did?" Nasiens is pushed back, but he gives quite the remark. "Then I'll do this. Mix poison, misty rain," and around Rothes, the atmosphere starts to glimmer as if, well, like snow and snow coral. You call this an attack? It doesn't even tickle. Nasien starts to explain this comes from a plant growing in the cold fairy realm cavern. Inhale it, and it will slowly paralyze you from the limbs up. What's most fascinating about this is the pollen. You see how vigorously it reacts in normal temperatures, but what happens when it is exposed to a hotter environment? Nasiens explains that fire is taboo in the fairy realm, so he couldn't test it out. Instead, he's going to experiment it on Rothes. Using his new twin gloves, the twin pole gloves in heat mode, the poison has a bit of a fiery reaction. That's one hell of a poison. Rothes is up in flames. And this, oh man, this gets everyone going. Dubs is very excited that his gloves did such a good job, giving the thumbs up. And Donnie is just in shock, as well as Nasien saying, I didn't expect that much of a reaction. Jeez, no wonder there's no fire in the fairy realm. A propane explosion could have happened if it was something like a small spark. The vast, violent flames launched by Nasiens have engulfed the entire arena. Will we see an early end to this one? Sadly, no, because leaping out of the freaking fire is Rothes, who clashes with Nasiens, pushing him back and kicking Nasiens in the face. How dare you hurt our giant fairy kid? Nasiens is shocked to see that, well, he's not really unscathed, but he's alive after surviving a sea of flames. And all he has to say is, "The soot's made my clothes a mess." So we're all wondering, like Nasiens, how can you emerge unscathed from those flames? For that matter, Snow Coral should have made it hard for you to walk. But he just grins and says, nausea, visions, paralysis, memory loss, lethargy, breathing difficulty, corrosion, multiple organ failure, death. You know a poison which can do all that? Nasien says that they're an expert in that field. You can't find such a thing in Britannia or the fairy realm, and likely not in the demon realm either. But Rothes explains, oh no, it does exist, trust me. Just not in a world all of you would be familiar with. Rothes explains that this poison lies in Purgatory, the great corridor, some call it, linking our world to the afterlife. A world of searing heat, frigid cold, of poisonous air and hordes of fearsome monsters. This shocks Nasiens to know that Rothes has essentially went to hell. I don't mean the demon realm, no. Purgatory has been somewhat confirmed to be the afterlife, while there's also a realm of the dead where we saw Elaine. And wait a minute, I'm just zooming in real quick here. It's Hawk! He's in Purgatory! No! I thought you came back for scraps. Rothes begins making his hands do signatures, and then he says, this magic creates a rift leading to Gatekeeper. And I also have resistance to heat, cold, and poison that steams from it. A strange crack looms above Rothes' head. What would it be? Your luck just ran out. A dark portal opens above Rothes. You don't have a single weapon that could work against me. And that is where we lead this fight. It's not exactly how I envisioned it would turn out. So this scrawny kid is somehow similar to Bond, kind of. Bond was able to adapt to Purgatory because he was freaking immortal. Poison, the cold, the heat, his body adapted to the entire hellish environment, coming out stronger than before. So much so that he's not even human anymore. And Rothes? I'm guessing because of his magic, or at least the exposure of the portals, he's adapted somewhat to Purgatory. And eesh, this is not going well for the Percival Platoon. Donnie got knocked out by Dubs and got brutalized by Turret and whatever the hell his creature was. And now Nasiens? Ugh. Man, this kid, he really needs a good ace up his sleeve. If only there was something, a weapon from another realm, perhaps, given to Nasiens by their father? Nakaba, have you forgotten this? Please tell me in the next chapter that Nasiens is going to use the Spirit Spear on whatever the heck is coming through that portal, because either some kind of poison, the atmosphere of Purgatory, a creature is coming through that portal. And Nasiens better start kicking in those fairy genes because this is going to be a tough fight. But what did you think of chapter 172? Be sure to subscribe to the Anime Underworld. We'll be out with another 7 Deadly Sins manga review chapter next week. We have the schedule for December. We are getting a chapter next week. We are skipping the week after that. We're getting one Christmas week, and then we're going to be taking a break on New Year's. But do not worry, I'll be sure to have a video next Wednesday. This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld. I'll see you later, mortals.